Hello and welcome to this special evening briefing by the Jerusalem Press Club. I am Jonathan Beck, Director of Content. Our special guest today is Dr. Eyal Pinko, formerly a Navy commander in the IDF. Today is a senior research fellow at the Begin Sadat Center for Strategic Studies and a researcher and lecturer in intelligence, cyber, national security, and maritime security. Hello, Dr. Pinko, and thank you for joining us at such short notice.
Hello and good evening. Thank you very much.
So we're doing this briefing in what is basically an ongoing event. Let me just bring us into context. First of all, I would just like to zoom out for a second. On October 7, Hamas attacked Israel violently. Everybody knows what happened then. Hezbollah attacked Israel unprovoked. I'm not sure if it was on October 8 or 9. And basically has been shelling the north of Israel since then. It's become this kind of routine of attrition between the sides, with spikes here and there of higher intensity attacks. We had the Fuad Shukr assassination, but the new normal we have in the north is basically a border that's mostly evacuated and constant shelling. So what happened today does not come in an empty context. I would just like to put this on the table before we begin. Now, today, the Shin Bet revealed that a Hezbollah cell succeeded in infiltrating Israel and tried to assassinate a former senior defense official in Tel Aviv, in Park Hayakon. There was an attack in September and another one that was foiled today. I'm not quite sure if it was actually foiled today or yesterday or just revealed today. But in any case, shortly after that report, a mysterious series of explosions was reported in Lebanon, beginning in Beirut, in the Dahya, and then after a few hours, this inflated to, they're talking now about 3,000 wounded.
Yeah.
We just talked before this briefing started. You mentioned unconfirmed reports that Nasrallah's son was wounded or killed. I'm not sure.
Nasrallah's son was killed, and Nasrallah himself, according to Jordanian Twitter account, was injured. I don't know how severe it is.
So again, this is an unconfirmed report, but apparently Nasrallah himself was also hurt. Now, first of all, I would like to say also that Israel has nothing to do with this. I mean, no responsibility was claimed by anyone for this attack, and the Americans went as far as saying they were unaware of it, and they don't know who's behind it. So let's work on this assumption. Now, first of all, people theorized that maybe a malicious code was run into the devices, causing the lithium batteries to overheat and explode. And I think that's not true, because the clips coming out of Lebanon on Telegram, etc., show much bigger explosions than what a typical phone melting would look like. So can you tell us, perhaps in your assessment, how this was done technically?
Yeah. First, I served not only in the Navy, also in other intelligence organizations. And if I, as an intelligence, I served 12 years in organizations of intelligence. So if I will analyze the pictures that are coming from Lebanon and other cases in the world, it's definitely not concerning any kind of heating of lithium batteries. The battery, it's a normal battery in the beeper, and you see the wounds that were published. This is may caused only by some kind of explosives, TNT, HTTB, or other kind of explosives. So in order to create this kind of sophisticated, well-prepared operation, I would like to mention that this is not from now to now. This is intelligence operations that was very well planned, prepared for more than 1.5 years. This is the time that it takes to plan and execute this kind of operation. You need to understand the Hezbollah to create an infrastructure to sell this kind of equipment. So it's a long and very comprehensive and complicated operation. Based on what I saw, It's been done, as I said, with explosive. You need, in order to get this kind of wounds, you need to have between 1 to 2 grams of a type of explosives, which is not, it's not a big technological issue. You just need to open the beeper. Once again, it's a whole supply chain. You need to open the beeper to put a very not sensitive explosive that it will not get operated in the time that you don't want it to operate, and a small operational card that can get commands from the outside. If we all remember how beeper is working, you just send some kind of message from a communication tower and it's spread all over. So it's very simple, just to get a signal. Let's say you will get 5 zeros, and it's only an example, of course. And with these 5 zeros, the smart card over there analyze it, and with a very small current from the battery, initiate the explosive. This is the main idea. What is sophisticated here is the intelligence operation, not the technology. So
the actual technical feat is again, you said, not very big, but this necessitated a penetration into some link in the supply chain of those devices much earlier in the past. And I'm assuming that for Hezbollah to buy beepers, they don't just go in a store and buy them. I'm assuming they also have a chain of supply that is harder to penetrate.
Yes. We must understand that Hezbollah is the largest drug baron in South America. Most of the drugs that are coming to the US, to Canada, to Europe are coming from Colombia and Mexico by Hezbollah. And Hezbollah, in order to operate its drugs businesses all over the globe, Hezbollah has a lot of infrastructure in Europe, in Africa, in South and North America, using straw companies, bank accounts, cryptocurrency. It's a huge network. So if Hezbollah wants to buy this kind of beepers or any other communication measures, some kind of, as we call it, a monkey or a donkey, a straw company stands, buy it for some kind of a company, and from there it goes to Lebanon, and Hezbollah uses that whatever he needs. So it's a huge network. It's of course using the 400 force, the Quds force of Iran. So it's a huge network, and for Hezbollah to take this kind of measures, it's not so complicated. What is complicated here is to do the matching between the guy that is selling that to Hezbollah and the guy that is standing in front of Hezbollah to buy it. This is the huge operation here.
So again, assuming we don't know who did this, I was wondering if the people wounded, it's a large number of people, can be considered, on assumption, specific Hezbollah people, or just like any operative that got those devices? Or
yeah, look, once you are sending messages to the beepers, all the beepers are taking it. Okay, so when the person who's carrying the beeper will get it, and you see by the pictures of the injuries that some people put it in the pockets. Some of them took it with their hands, put them in front of the face to read the message, and you see injuries in faces, in the hands, in the legs. So it depends where you carry it and if you were fast enough to read the message.
So, okay, I'm not going to, it's a risky operation because there is a chance of some collateral damage, even though the charges are very small.
Yeah.
But let's move now to from the technical aspect of this. By the way, our listeners, if you have any more technical questions that we can assume what happened, you're welcome to ask. But I would like to ask now on a more substantive level. This could be a game changer. Now, tell me if what I'm saying is correct in your perception. This could be a prelude to a massive strike, or it could replace a massive strike in the sense that it is terrorizing enough, in the sense of putting enough fear to cause Hezbollah to de-escalate. Let's work on the assumption that Israel is behind it. What do you think was the goal to prepare for a large war, or to maybe end a potential war with this act?
Yeah, I think we must first to understand that not only Israel doesn't want to go into a large escalation. You see how many efforts Germany, France, the US, the UK did in order to bring peace and quiet to the region and not go to escalation. So not necessarily Israel did it, and if Israel did it, not necessarily by its own. Maybe there was some other partner. Okay, this is as an assumption to who is behind this attack. Secondly, since last Tuesday, the end of the debate between Trump and Camilla, Hezbollah came back to the table and started bombarding in much more comprehensive way. As you said it beautifully before, that we are normalized that if 30 or 40 missiles per day attacking Israel, it's okay. This is the normal. We accept it. If it's 300, maybe it's too much. Since then, since Tuesday, the escalation came back to the table, and everybody wants it to stop. And I believe that with the signs that came from the north, it was some kind of alert that Hezbollah may go into much larger escalation. And I think this kind of operation are setting some kind of alert or deterrence, even though I don't like to use this word, saying that, look, we are penetrated you, you're already being penetrated. We know where you are, what you do. And look, we can in one single shot, in less than a second, can eliminate 2,000 people, almost 3,000 terror operatives. So I think it's a alert flag not to go in any more further. If I analyze what is happening with the Israeli government and military in the last year, you see that they don't want to go to further escalation. Not in the north, not with the Yemen Houthis. They just want to finish the business in Gaza and go back to normal life. Once again, if we can call it normal. So I believe that there will be no more escalation from the IDF, or the IDF will not attack. This is my assessment. As I always say, that in the Middle East, you can only forecast the past, not the future. So, but it seems that this is one raising the flag, or what we call in the Navy, show the flag, in order not to go into further escalation.
Okay, I would also like to mention that, at least according to the 8 o'clock news an hour ago, the Home Front Command instructions in Israel are not changed. School tomorrow is as normal, so official Israel is not expecting this to provoke a massive Hezbollah attack, let's put it this way.
By the way, if you just look on the person who were carrying those beepers, this is the senior commanders and above. So it's from the battalion commanders and above. So probably what is happening now in Hezbollah, that all the commanding structure from, let's say, the rank of lieutenant colonel in a regular military to the generals, the 2 or 3 generals are totally injured, or some of them are already died. So now to get even to the time to get a reset and to start to understand what is happening, it will take a few days. So I think that this is the reason that the Israeli IDF spokesman didn't go to higher alert.
Wouldn't this, I mean, I'm asking, again, we're assuming that Israel is behind this. Wouldn't this be the best opportune moment to massively hit Hezbollah when they're like on their knees, so to speak?
Look, from the military perspective, or from the military strategy, this is the best moment. It was a surprise attack. The terror organization is now on his knees. It's the best time to go and to attack. The issue here that, once again, we don't know that it is Israel, but as I said, the Israeli government, the Israeli military do not want to go into escalation. They want to decrease the fire. They want to go into ceasefire. They want to stop the war. So I don't believe it will go further on.
Do we know by any chance, I know it's a bit of an odd question, do we know by any chance who made those pagers? Is it Motorola? Because I know that company has some Israeli connections in it.
Motorola, it's an American company, but you can buy Motorola all over the globe. I saw pictures of this the pagers. It's blank. No producer is over there. So from the pictures I saw from Lebanon, you cannot determine which company produce it.
Yeah. Also, a word to Hezbollah, get with the program. We have like smartphones now. Pagers are a bit of a thing of the past.
No, by the way, it's not like that, because if you see security organizations or law enforcement, the best thing in pager that it's not exposed, it's not transmitting, so you cannot cyber attack it. It will not give you anything. So this is the perfect device for keeping you in a top secret. You can go to secret meetings without any risk of exposure. So maybe for the civilian life it's a dead end, the pagers, but for military, law enforcement, security organizations, it's perfect.
Okay, now another option that I was thinking about, in between myself in the past few hours, is that Israel would not plan to attack, but perhaps there are inside Lebanon there is opposition to Hezbollah in Lebanon. This would not be also a good time for them to perhaps kind of do what the South Lebanon army did? And do you think, let me ask this, do you think Israel has hidden proxies inside Lebanon?
Look, there are oppositions to Hezbollah in Lebanon. Military speaking, they are weak. They cannot handle Hezbollah troops. They have 10,000s of soldiers over there, terrorists in Lebanon, and you need to have a huge army in order to compete with them. So I think it's not relevant for now.
How, by the way, 3,000, like how many operatives are considered to be in Hezbollah today? Like, what is 3,000 from them?
There are different assessments, open source assessments regarding Hezbollah's force. Most of the assessments are speaking a little bit below 100,000 people. But 3,000, it means that the one that will carry that will be the senior commanders. So probably regarding that, the analysis or assessment taking out of it, it's that the all senior commanding level were damaged.
I understand. This comes on the heels also of I'm not even if it was late last week or early this week, an attack inside Syria by special IDF forces to basically foil their like their accuracy, the kits that make their bombs more accurate.
Yeah, the rocket accuracy program.
So all these moves kind of look like softening the target before actually striking. And today comes a peak, so it almost seems like a wasted opportunity, unless Hezbollah now decides to pull back, because initially they did not blame Israel, but very quickly, about an hour later, I think they pointed the blame at Israel, and they said that they would retaliate in kind for this attack.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Israel during the last year did many commando attacks, very precise, very accurate, very good intelligence, amazing intelligence. Fuad Shuker, the second in command, damaging the rockets accuracy program that was made by Iran in order to enhance the Hezbollah rockets capabilities. And it's a right moment to strike and to take this terror organization out. But as I believe that the political situation in Israel and the fact that the military really doesn't want to go into escalation will not move us into any other larger operation in Lebanon. I say that unfortunately, I believe.
Okay, I hope this will be a first step to bringing the evacuees back. I would also like to remind our viewers, if anyone hasn't heard that, the Iranian ambassador in Lebanon was carrying a Hezbollah pager. That's kind of a very direct incrimination of how large Iran's role is in destabilizing Lebanon and in funding and funneling weapons to Hezbollah.
Yeah, all Hezbollah's capabilities were established by Iran. Iran is paying to Hezbollah every year more than $400 million to run the country. Before the COVID, it was 700 million per year. So Iran is Hezbollah, it's the same.
Okay, can I ask you, Israel has also been playing the game of equations with Hezbollah. Now, as you said, these beepers were lying dormant, so to speak, waiting for the opportune moment for many, many months. I don't know if it's just coincidental, but the news that they managed to get all the way to the heart of Tel Aviv and plant an explosive device in a park in order to take out a person jogging. Would this be kind of a trigger for Israel to say, you know what, you can do this, we can do that, or am I going out on a limb here?
No, I think it's totally possible, and with more information that was accumulated in the last days, that the militia Shia in Iraq, in Syria, and Hezbollah in Lebanon are enforcing their forces, accumulating forces, even people from Chechnya, from Afghanistan, from Yemen as well. So I think, we came into the center of gravity, of the center of mass, that is the game changer, or changing the equation.
Okay, I have a question from a reporter here. Is there any chance that Israel would, by mistake, send this message and would injure just a Lebanese civilian?
First, we don't know that Israel did it. Okay, nobody took responsibility. I think it's very dangerous to blame Israel or before anyone took responsibility. This is one. Secondly, all those beepers were secret beepers, encrypted beepers that belong to Hezbollah senior officers. No, it was not belong to any kind of civilian. So the fact that Hezbollah is going with civilian clothes doesn't mean that they are civilians. They are terrorists with civilian clothes. That's the way they do that.
Okay, you mentioned, the way it was done, how a reporter asked how it can be made into a detonating device. So we discussed that with a small amount of TNT. The actual detonator, the current, would that be sent by some kind of message?
No, this guy, if you can look at those devices, they were already in the 90s. In Hamas, even in Afghanistan and Iraq, those kind of devices were operated against the American forces over there. So it's not a very unique technology. What is happening over there? You put some kind of explosive, TNT or other better TNT version. This is one. Second, you need the connection to the battery, because the currency from the battery is enough in order to ignite the explosive. And you need some kind of a small electronic card that is connected to the main, say, computer of the beeper. It's not a real computer, but just not to go into deep technology.
Yeah, but my question is actually, do you need to take over Lebanon's cellular network in order to affect such a strike, or not necessarily?
No, if you're selling those treated, as we call it, treated beepers in front, they are expecting some kind of message from the network to initiate the explosive. Okay, so if I will send this kind of message to the network, it will initiate in all the country. It will initiate the beepers. So for example, I just need to know your number and to send you a message. That's all.
Not necessarily from inside Lebanon, but just from a phone elsewhere.
Absolutely, yes. You don't need to hack anyone. You don't need to do any kind of cyber attack. You can just send a very simple beeper message from all over the globe.
Okay. Again, I'm not going to say it's Israel or not, but whoever did this, isn't this kind of it's like it's a gun with one bullet. I mean, once this was done today,
yeah,
this trick cannot be pulled out of a hat again, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so whoever is responsible for it, I hope it reached its desired effect. I thank you very much for this briefing. I know that some of our listeners were in a previous briefing earlier, so we'll keep it short unless anyone has if you have any last questions, type them now. And I would just like to mention that this will be on our YouTube channel either later this evening or tomorrow morning. Thank you again, Dr. Eyal Pinko, and I would like to thank also my colleague, Matthias Sakal, for arranging this. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.